this workshop is going to be all about social media, mostly about how to use social media for your club, but we are going to talk a little bit about personal social media and how that relates to how it affects our club and our roles in the Kiwanis family. But before we begin, my name is Taylor McKay. I am the immediate past New Jersey Circle K District Governor. I just graduated from Stockton University, and I have been in the Kiwanis family since I was in Key Club at Old Bridge High School. And in Key Club was where I really learned that there is a bigger Kiwanis family. And I was so excited to join Circle K and be involved in Circle K. And hopefully, within the next few months or years after I get settled in my career, I will be able to join you all as a Kiwanian. So I'm really looking forward to presenting this workshop. When Joey G asked me to present, I was really excited because one of my favorite things about the Kiwanis family was how we could all learn so much from each other. I have learned so much from all of you and the various Kiwanians throughout my Kiwanis family experience. So I'm really excited to be able to use something that I have learned a lot in Circle K and something that I enjoy to benefit all of you. So if you have any questions, feel free to just drop them in the chat. I'll try to check it periodically. But please, I did leave some time for questions at the end, but please, if you have any questions as I'm going through the presentation, feel free to ask and I can address them right then and there. So the first thing that I want to cover is Facebook. Facebook has launched as one of the most popular social media platforms. It's popular for all age groups, and especially a lot of businesses, community groups have really been using it. So there's lots of really neat features about Facebook, and one of them is creating a Facebook page. I'm sure a lot of your Kiwanis clubs already have a Facebook page, but if you don't, I highly suggest creating one. It's super easy. And so I have some pictures, and I can also go into my personal Facebook and navigate if anyone is interested in that. But over here on the left is when you log into Facebook, that's what your little menu is. If you scroll all the way down and click pages, it'll bring you to this little box in the middle where you can press create new page. Then it brings you to the create new page, and you can put in your page name, your category, and your description. That is how you start it. And then once you have a Facebook page, you can invite friends and family to like it. You can post it on community groups. You can use that on business cards. That way when you give out club business cards or personal business cards, those potential members, potential business partners, potential service partners can see your Facebook page and see what your club is up to, recent events, upcoming events, if you're in need of donations. So it's super, super easy to create a Facebook page. Some tips and tricks for Facebook pages. You can share, like I said, you can share upcoming events. This is a great way to publicize your event, especially because so many people are using Facebook, and they can find out about your upcoming event through Facebook. Also, using pictures to capture attention. This is a great way to be reminded to take pictures at your event and document those events through Facebook. And yes, so Facebook is just posting updates on behalf of the club to the general public. And we'll take a look at some Facebook pages. I know some Circle K clubs have some really good Facebook pages, and some Kiwanis clubs have some really good Facebook pages that can be used as an example. Additionally, Facebook has this really neat feature of creating a Facebook group. Now, I know that there is a large group for the whole New Jersey district, and some individual clubs might also have some individual groups, but the way to create a group is, again, in this little menu. You go to groups, you'll be able to create a new group, and then, sorry, when I have you guys up here, I can't always see the whole screen, so I have to move you around. But you can create a group. So create your group name, the Kiwanis Club of, and then choose privacy. So the privacy is really important because if it's public, that means anyone who has a Facebook account can see, which sometimes is good and sometimes is bad, especially if you're discussing private club matters. So you can create it private, and that means that the admin will have to allow members to join the group. So if you create it private, you can just tell people, search the Kiwanis Club of whatever your Kiwanis Club is. They could find the group, and then whoever is in charge of the group can add them. Now, Facebook groups are really awesome because it's a really easy way to communicate with club members. The only people who will be in the group are the club members. Check the chat. So sometimes I know our main method is emailing, but not everyone always checks their email super often. Sometimes it's not as easy to get someone with a text or a call. But if you have a Facebook group, everyone who has a Facebook account will get that notification when you post updates. So it's a great way to just post reminders about club events, upcoming events. You can also share documents, pictures, and videos. So this is a good way to share club agendas for someone who wants to refer to them later on, or if they weren't able to make the meeting. You can also take polls. So if you ever need to take an informal poll, maybe you're trying to figure out the date of an upcoming social, or maybe a date that works best for everyone for an upcoming service project, you can easily take a poll in a Facebook group. And it's just a really good way. Anyone who is in the group can post updates. So if anyone needs any ideas for anything, anyone needs any help for anything, you can post in that Facebook group. I know most Circle K clubs use Facebook groups as their main method of communication. It's just so easy for us. We're always on our phones, and we always have Facebook on our phone, so we always get those notifications. So if we're out and about and we see that, there's a service project in the evening that we might have forgot about, someone just posts it on the Facebook group, and then we're instantly reminded of that. Yes, Celeste, I can show you how to take a poll in a Facebook group. Actually, while we're here, let's do that. So I'm going to log into my personal Facebook and show you the Stockton Circle K Facebook group and how we use that. So this is our Stockton Circle K Facebook group. Now on this side, we have all the admin tools. So we have member requests because we are a private group. So anyone—
we're not seeing the Stockton Facebook, we're still seeing your PowerPoint.
Yeah, you need to
okay. Let me stop share and share again. Can you guys see it now? Perfect. So this is the Facebook group. On the side here, you have the admin tools. So anyone who is listed as an admin for the Facebook group will be able to have this menu. So you have member requests. We are a private group, so anyone who is a dues paid member is welcome to join the group. So the admin can control who can add the group. We usually have our secretary and our treasurer make sure that they're a dues paid member before we add them. If you would like, you can add membership questions, which is usually just a way to confirm that they are allowed in your group. So if you have a really big Kiwanis club and the secretary and treasurer aren't able to instantly confirm, you can have a question that allows the member to answer something that confirms that they are part of your Kiwanis club. You can also do scheduled posts. You could post group rules. And it also gives you these tools down here to kind of just see how many people are interacting with your posts. This is just a little look. This is where we collect our service hours. So we have this post pinned. That way, anyone who is looking to record their service hours, they can go on the Facebook group, easily find it, and log their service hours. And then we can create a poll. So if you go to create a post, it'll give you the option for more. And then you have all these different options. So you can check in at a location, you can add a file, you can create an event, you can raise money, you can ask for recommendations, you can post a photo, tag people. But right now I want to show you guys how to make a poll. So here's your poll. So I will make a poll for Stockton Circle K. So I'm going to ask Stockton Circle K members what their favorite social media outlet is. So the options I'm going to use are Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and I'll add Snapchat. So you can add as many options as you would like. You can also allow people to choose multiple answers, and you can allow anyone to add options. So allowing people to choose multiple answers is really good, especially if you're trying to figure out a common date amongst people. If multiple dates work for one person, that's good to know. And allowing anyone to add options really just depends on the type of poll that you're doing. If it's something that the options that you're adding are strict, then you'll want to make sure to uncheck that. That way no one else adds anything. But if you're open to suggestions and willing to let other people add to the poll, you can leave that checked. So I will post this, and then we'll see if anyone answers. And then we could come back in a little bit and see what the responses are. So other cool things about groups, like I said, is you can upload files. So our editor likes to upload our newsletters onto the group. He emails them out to everyone, but sometimes not everyone checks their email, especially in the summer. Everyone's busy and at the beach and out and about, but we always have our phones on us. So we get that notification for the newsletter and we could just read it right on the phone. We add our agendas sometimes when people aren't able to make meetings. And then we just post updates. Ray Brophy, our Kiwanis advisor, had a fundraiser that he posted some updates. We had the Kiwanis Family Live. So it's just a really great option to keep in touch with members. Does anyone else have any other questions regarding Facebook groups? All right. So I will go back to my PowerPoint. So the next thing I want to talk about is Facebook events. And I also want to show you all how to set up a Facebook event, because this is a really, really, really great way for you guys to advertise all your events, your meetings, and Facebook really has added this cool new option to add things as a virtual event with everything going on. So same thing on your menu, it'll bring you to events. You can create a new event and then you can make it either online or in person. Now let me show you how to create an event because there are some really awesome things that you can do to boost your event. Let me share my screen again. Can everyone see the Facebook again? Perfect. So if we create a new event, we'll create an in-person event just to be hopeful. So here's where you can add all of the event details. So we'll make it annual fundraiser, and it'll be on October 17th. You can put the start time, so we'll start a little later, at 2:15 p.m. The end date will also be on October 17th at 6 p.m. So you can also edit the privacy on a Facebook event. So if you want it to be super private where only people who you invite are welcome, so maybe for a specific club event where it's only open to members of your club, you would want to make it private. Public, especially if you're having a fundraiser or a recruiting event, you'll definitely want to make your Facebook event public. Friends will only be open to your Facebook friends. So if you're making an event on behalf of your Kiwanis Club, I would suggest not using this friends option, only because then other people might not be able to see it. And group, you can make this for a group that you're in. So we'll make our fundraiser public. So the location, I'm just going to pick a random location. Chili's is one of the random ones that pops up. So we'll have a fundraiser at Chili's. And then you can upload pictures. So if you have a flyer for the fundraiser, you can upload that. You can add a description. So here's where you'll want to talk about the price, the location, what the funds are going towards, and you can always put a little description of what Kiwanis is and why someone would want to come to a Kiwanis sponsored fundraiser. So then we'll create our event. And then you can start inviting people. So I'll invite Kyle to our Chili's fundraiser. You can send the invite and then they'll get a notification. A really cool thing that you can do is that you can invite all of your Facebook friends. You can invite friends from other events that you hosted, other events that you attended. So I know when I was making all the Circle K Facebook event pages, I would go back to see other Circle K events that I would host and then invite all those other people as well. So here is your event page. And the really cool thing about events is that when someone's on Facebook looking for something to do, you can go to events and it'll show you different events happening in your area or different events that you might be interested in based on your Facebook likes and interactions. So people in your community might see your Kiwanis fundraiser, Kiwanis recruitment event on their events page, and that'll give them the opportunity to look and see, oh, what is this about? So it seems like Kyle is going to our annual fundraiser, so thanks, Kyle. That's very much appreciated. All right, now I'm gonna share my screen again, back to the PowerPoint. Can everyone see the PowerPoint? All right. This whole virtual thing is so tricky. Does anyone have any other questions regarding Facebook events? All right. So the next thing I want to talk about is what I like to call free Facebook advertising. I know Governor Gordon was hosting workshops a few weeks ago regarding paid Facebook advertising, and I know he said he had a little bit of success with it. But there's also some free ways to advertise, and these are some things that I learned throughout Circle K. So one of the biggest things that I think is such a benefit is community groups. There are so many communities, and I'm pretty sure almost every town in New Jersey has a group for their community with thousands of members. I know I live in Old Bridge, and I have a Facebook group that I'm a part of called Old Bridge Neighbors. I know almost every town has a town forum on Facebook, and I would highly suggest requesting to join the town forums that your Kiwanis Club is based in and the towns around, because this is a great opportunity for you to post about your Kiwanis events. It's a great opportunity to recruit members as well, to post about Kiwanis and see if anyone is interested in doing service in their community. There are so many people in these groups, ranging from high school students, college students, young people who just moved to the community looking for things to do, people with families looking for things to do. So definitely a really, really, really great opportunity. This is something that I discovered when I was club president at Stockton. We were having a bowling fundraiser for children in the community, and we were just looking for ways to boost it. And so I found a bunch of Facebook groups for families in the Galloway and Atlantic County area. We were able to post, and it got a lot of feedback. A lot of people were able to come out, people just looking for things to do with their families on the weekend. So definitely, I would highly suggest looking into Facebook groups to boost your events, and it could be a really good recruitment tool. I know that every college usually has a Facebook group as well for just all the students at that college. And us as Circle Kers have used that to post about our meetings and to recruit new members. So let me just take a look at the chat. So yes, hashtags are also super, super important. I would say average 3 to 5 hashtags per post, but a hashtag is basically just the pound sign and then a saying or a word. And so many people use these to boost their posts. There's some really popular hashtags that Kiwanis members use. Kids Need Kiwanis. I'm sure you've all heard of that one. That's a really big one. Hashtag Kiwanis, hashtag Kiwanis needs you. Even something just hashtag service, hashtag leadership. If you're hosting a fundraiser, hashtag fundraiser. By searching these hashtags on Facebook, anyone can look at your post and see what you're doing. So definitely use hashtags. And I always like to encourage people, if they're looking for ideas on things to do, or just need some inspiration for their club, just go on Facebook and look up some of these common Kiwanis hashtags, and you'll be able to see what clubs all around the world are doing. And also encouraging club members to share posts. So sharing is super, super easy. And when your club Facebook page, or if a member of the club posts something relating to Kiwanis, send out a message and ask your club members to just share it, because then they're able to share it to all of their Facebook friends, and some of their Facebook friends may share it, and it just spreads the word. So Mickey just brought up a really good point to me. There is a big difference between a Facebook page and a Facebook group. Facebook groups are only accessible to people who have a Facebook account. So you can only be in a Facebook group with a Facebook account. But if you don't have a Facebook account, you can still look at a Facebook page, which is just a general page for you to post your information to the general public. So that's just one thing to note. Thank you, Mickey, for bringing that up. All right. And then just some Facebook tips and tricks. Double check spelling and grammar. Mickey told me about Grammarly last year, and it was one of my biggest lifesavers, especially for emails and social media. We all make typos that we may not even realize. Sometimes we don't realize that our grammar is a little off. And so Grammarly is this free app that you can download onto your computer, and it automatically will check your spelling and grammar. I think it's a really great tool, especially when you're posting on behalf of your club. It just makes everything look so much more professional. Also, keep wording to a minimum. Use pictures and graphics instead. So if you ever have any pictures from your club event, definitely be sure to post them when you're posting something. Sometimes there's so many things on Facebook that people will just scroll. If they see big blobs of words, they might not stop. But if they see a picture that captures their attention, they might stop to read what it's about. Also, if you don't have any pictures, you can use graphics. And I'm going to show you this really cool tip in a few minutes on how you can make really easy graphics without any graphic design experience. And also, if members are okay with it, be sure to tag them. It's super easy to tag them. All you have to do is write the @ symbol and then their name, and that'll allow it to show up on their Facebook page, and all their Facebook friends will see it. But again, make sure to just check with the individual before you tag them, especially if it's a picture. It might not be a picture that they want everyone to see. So before we move into Instagram, does anyone have any questions regarding Facebook that I can address for you? All right. So Instagram. I know not as many Kiwanis clubs are on Instagram, but Instagram, oh, sure, let me go back. Tagging versus sharing. So that's a really great question. Tagging just allows you to tag someone in their post, in that post. So that means it'll show up on their timeline that it is from you. Versus if someone wanted to share it, and they weren't tagged in it, they can press the share button and it shows that they shared it. So let me actually bring you to Facebook and I can show you the difference. Are you all able to see Facebook? All right, perfect. So I will bring you to my personal Facebook. So this right here is a picture that I was tagged in. I went out with some other Circle K governors, and Anjani, who was a Circle K governor a few years ago, tagged Michael, myself, and Jason. So that is us being tagged. Now I can share this. Either I can just share it with my friends, I can write a post, I could share it in a story. So I'll write a post with this. And I can write, I can just add something that I want. So for instance, I will add, had such a uniting. So then I also have Grammarly. So that'll fix all my errors. So that was an error that. So then when I post this, it was shared to my timeline. And that's how it comes up as shared. So if you are tagged in something, it'll already show up on your timeline, so you don't necessarily have to share it. But if you aren't tagged in it, you can definitely share it to spread the word. Does that answer your question? Let me get back to the PowerPoint. All right, so Instagram. So I know not as many Kiwanis clubs are on Instagram, but it's definitely a great account to have, especially to spread the word. And if you're trying to get a younger demographic into your club, because typically a lot of individuals between like 18 and 30 are really on Instagram, and that is their most favored social media account. So Instagram is run by an app. So it is a free app. It's available on Apple, Android, mostly every smartphone. So all you have to do is download the free Instagram app and make an account. Once you create a handle, you won't be able to change it immediately. So you will want to make a handle that represents your club. Typically, it could just be your club name. I know a lot of Circle K clubs, it's just Stockton Circle K or Circle K TC and J, something easy that captures your name. Additionally, you will have a bio section, which everyone can see anytime they access your account. So make sure to include a brief description on what your club is, what you do, your meeting times, anything that you want to add. And Instagram has this really cool option to add a website to your Instagram account. So if you have a website, you can include that in your bio. So some Instagram tips and tricks. Instagram has a feature called Instagram Stories. Facebook also has that, but it is more popular on Instagram. So I'd highly suggest utilizing Instagram Stories and live streams. When you use a live stream, everyone gets a notification for that. So that's also a really good way to get everyone's attention. It is Instagram etiquette to not post more than once a day. But if you do have multiple pictures that you want to add, you can post multiple pictures in one post. Additionally, you can follow other people on Instagram, which is a really cool feature. So I would definitely recommend following other Kiwanis family clubs and accounts. That way they can also follow you back. But also once you are on your Instagram timeline, you'll be able to see what other Kiwanis family clubs are up to. And again, use hashtags on Instagram. They're really popular. The Kids Need Kiwanis one, Kiwanis Needs You, hashtag Kiwanis. You can all use all of those on Instagram, and I will show you how that works. Unshare my screen. All right, so I'm going to try to show you my phone. This is my Instagram account. So everyone is posting pictures. I'm going to spotlight New Jersey Key Club. They've been doing live streams on their Instagram all week. So when you press their little circle, you can see a little video of one of their lieutenant governors talking about their day. Instagram also has a really cool feature where you can ask a question. So a lot of the New Jersey Key Club District board members have been doing Instagram takeovers and allowing their members to ask them questions throughout the day, which I think is really cool. And then if you want to post, here is all the pictures that you can post. And then when you do post, others are allowed to comment and like it, and you can hashtag. So sorry that was a little rocky. Instagram, unfortunately, is only a phone app, so you can't use it on the computer. But the last thing that I want to show, let me share my screen again. Are you guys able to see my screen again? Perfect. So Canva. Canva is this really awesome app that I learned about through Circle K. I honestly think that it's one of the best things that I learned through Circle K because I was able to use it not only for Circle K, but I used it a lot for school and other things. So Canva, you can make graphics without any graphic design experience. There are tons of templates available. You must register for a free account. But here is the, oh no, I'll have to bring you. But these are some of the graphics that I made on Canva for Circle K. And I've never had any graphic experience at all. I use these with free templates, and I just added in the text. I added in some design. I, was able to change the font. So let me bring you over to Canva to show you that. So many tabs open. All right. All right. Are you all able to see Canva? Perfect. So on Canva, you can create pretty much anything. So I'll do an Instagram post. And you can do all these different types of templates that they have. So I'll use this one as an example. So you can write the event that you have, you can write all the details, You can add other elements, other text, other photos. So I really like Canva because if you have a lot of wording to share, you can do it in a graphic, and it just makes things so much more attractive, especially if you're scrolling through social media and you have a lot of wording. Not everyone always wants to stop and read the wording, but if you have an attractive graphic, then it will just catch everyone's eye. So I definitely recommend that you check out Canva, canva.com, create a free account, and then you can make all the graphics that your heart desires. And again, you don't need any graphic experience. Oh, let me new share. All right, back on the PowerPoint. So before we end, we have just a few minutes, and then I want to make sure to give you guys a few minute break. That way, before you head to your next workshop. But does anyone have any questions regarding anything that I covered today, anything that I might not have covered? And I will check the chat. So Emily mentioned that you can view Instagram on your computer. I was not aware of that. So that is a good thing to note. Thank you so much, Emily. Oh, and Frank also mentioned that you can export them out into different file formats. So that's regarding Canva. So you can export your documents out in a PNG, JPG, PDF, anything that you need. Did you mention? So linking groups and pages, thank you, Brian. That's a really good point. So when you have a Facebook page, you can also link your Facebook page to your Facebook group. So let me see. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do that to show you guys on my Facebook because I don't think I have any Facebook. Where is my Facebook? So here is Stockton Circle K's Facebook page. I unfortunately don't have admin access to this, so I won't be able to link it, but there is an option to link your Facebook group with your Facebook page. And if anyone is interested in doing that, please let me know, reach out to me, and I would be happy to get on a Zoom call with you and help you set that up. Does anyone have any other questions, comments, concerns?
I have a question.
Yes.
Taylor, in the slide that I see in front of me right now, the K in Kiwanis International is not on a slant. And I always get crazy when I see the fact that it's supposed to be a slant. And I kind of move it so that it's standing upright, not on that weird slant that they try to promote. What's your feeling on that? I know it's a very small point, but
I don't know. I actually never thought about that. I actually downloaded this template from the Kiwanis International website. So this picture was already there, upright.
Okay.
Personally, I usually when I use the logos, they're always upright. I don't know. I don't really like the slant. I feel like it looks off with the slant.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Thanks.
You're welcome. Let me check the chat. So yes, there is a Kiwanis branding guideline regarding the different KI logos. I'm not as familiar with the Kiwanis branding guidelines. I'm more familiar with the Circle K branding guidelines. But I'm sure that on the Kiwanis International website, I believe that they do have their brand guide there. And that says more about the logos. Thank you, Milton. Anyone else have any other questions, comments, concerns? All right. Well, Emily did want me to remind you that this presentation was recorded, so if you ever need to refer back to it. But this is my email. Feel free to email me if you have any questions. If you're looking for help setting up a Facebook page, a Facebook group, Facebook event, Instagram account, feel free to email me. I would be more than happy to set up a Zoom call to help you set that up. Yeah, thank you so much for attending. It was a little rocky with all the screen sharing and switching and using Zoom. So I really appreciate all your patience. Oh, let's see. Let's look at the poll results.
Taylor, while you're looking at that, when you're done, just leave your, don't log out of this Zoom session until like 5 minutes before 11, okay? I'm going to throw up
Okay.
the slide for the next sessions.
Sure.
Thank you.
So let's check our poll results. All right, so we're back on the Stocking Circle K Facebook page. And our poll results, we have 3 votes for Facebook and 1 vote for Snapchat. So, and it was seen by 10 people. So there are people who didn't respond in the poll. So that's also a good feature. You can see who sees it, and you can see who didn't respond. Maybe you could reach out to them, especially if it's like a date that you're asking. Reach out and see if they're interested. Maybe they haven't figured out their schedule, and that's why they haven't been able to vote on the poll for the date, or whatever the case may be. But all right. Thank you all so much for coming. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Kiwanis virtual convention.